And we are back with part 2. I do apologize for that, but Facebook was having very mild connection issues. If you're tuning into the last Facebook Live video, I'm basically working on wands, like I always be doing. And my fan merch video uploaded quite successfully. My fan merch video uploaded to YouTube very successfully, and we're happy with that. I was having very mild connection issues with the last video. It kept on saying, trying to reconnect, trying to reconnect, trying to reconnect, trying to reconnect. Like in the middle of making wands live on Facebook, really now, that's completely uncalled for. Indeed I am. I'm busting my Asperger's to get these wands done as quickly as possible. And something tells me this wand's going to look sick when it's all said and done. The black leather against that white glow-in-the-dark candle will look sharp. I know it already does because I've done it before. But with the rest of this, it's going to be like, whoa, dude. Now, if you want a rainbow-colored wand, maybe making a wand for like a kid, or maybe for someone who's into like psychedelia or what have you, you can let the colors bleed onto each other, or you could use painter's tape and just use little sections of it. Let's see the next color. This would be yellow, green, and they'll gradually get much, much bigger. It's orange, yellow, green. Yeah, no, I just realized like if I make, in taping the wand, I realized like if I make that orange section a little bit wider, that means you don't want the colors to bleed into each other, and you don't want to use painter's tape. You have to like do a little section at a time. But I'm telling you right now, if you want to produce a custom colored wand, painter's tape is going to be your best friend. And then I'm thinking to myself, you know what, no, I'll just make those little sections of color, each one individually, going all the way up. It might take for fucking ever, but let's see. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. I can repeat the rainbow twice on this wand if I make the sections on it really tiny. I mean, it'll look really cool when it's done, but it's gonna take for fucking ever to paint. And meanwhile, you have this red, white, blue wand being dried in the vice clamp. The people have heard tale of a scepter that damn near cost me my blood in my hand. This would be that scepter. Here's the handle of it. It needs to be carved and sanded. I got it carved down to size, and I got the hole for the crystal ready to go. Right there, Facebook. Now the sanding I want to do on this one isn't going to be very much. A little bit on these nubs right here where the handle's at. But like, around this nub right here, that's getting sanded down nice and smooth. And then I'm going to do a little bit of sanding on this hole right here where the bark is peeled apart. And I'm going to try to leave most of the bark on here. Make it look like a natural scepter, basically, like a natural color, you know. I'm still going to use copper wire to wrap it like I did all my other scepters, but this is a little cool. I end up sanding off this nub right here and this one right here. I'll leave this one right here for the handle. I had our homie help hold the stick down so I could saw it right there at the bottom of the handle. But at least these fuckers are getting done. Now I am going to spray paint the handle black, of course, but that's the only thing I'm going to do paint-wise, other than maybe some glow-in-the-dark spray paint at the top right here. And I'm just leaving this natural bark pretty much on here. And this thing definitely is scepter size. And that handle's nice and thick, but not too thick. Thick enough that it could be a lightsaber. When this thing's said and done, it's going to be a cool looking scepter. But yeah, this one, I go to cut the hole or cut the stick flat on the top, drill a hole out for it, and then on the hole, the wall breaks. This happened like 3 or 4 times. 4th time, I get to it right here. I got the hole deep enough that it could fit a crystal very nicely, no issues. And the walls around the hole are nice and thick. Even on the thinnest part of it down here, it's still thick enough. And then this thing was kind of a bitch to put together, but yeah, this will look cool when it's done. Do a very light sanding on the nub right here. And of course, the sanding right here, which I'll work on more of this scepter later, because right now I'm more focused on getting these handhelds done. I may end up carving like the bark off from like here all the way up, creating like that'd look even cooler than trying to just, that way some of it's all barky and some of it's all smooth. As it gets smoother up towards the crystal, yeah, that'd be cool. Well, yeah. So it's up. On the spot where they ain't touching the paint. They can dry. There we go. As soon as I said that, I need the marker. Holy shit, that bark is dry. I mean, you can't sit there and say it's a hand carved set if you're doing some sort of carving on it. this whole thing carved smooth. I mean, if this bark was wet, this should be easy as fuck to carve. I'm gonna leave like a pinch of bark around the hole. Right in there. Yeah. I wouldn't leave very much sanding. Like right there on the nubs. Leave it up to the hole like right there. Right. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 5 nubs to sand down. It's not too bad. There you go, that's a cool looking scepter, man. There's some bark on there. Kind of adds texture to it. Sweet. That one's pretty smooth. I'll give it some texture. Not too much texture. Like something you'd find lying in the forest almost. Just has that look to it, you know. So it's perfect, but it's not entirely perfect. Some of these nubs are going to be super easy. This one here. Yeah, that one came off real nice. Like this nub right here and the sanding right here is going to be easy as shit. But this one not going to be too difficult either on the handle. But this one's going to be the trickiest knot to there's no way I'm going to be able to cut that off with the snipper. It's just going to have to be sanded off. Oof. Before I do any sanding on the scepter, I'm going to definitely need a cigarette. 1 second. I got all the bark I want off of that with the carving knife. Most excellent. Where did I set a sheet for it? Yeah, I heard something. Oh, there it is. I'll show you when that happens. You sit it in your fucking lap and you forget where you put it. Let's see. This massive mess I made at the foot of my lap can be cleaned up relatively easily. By the time it takes to carve out the scepter a wee bit, the paint's going to be done drying. I want to get the easy to sand nubs first, and then leave the difficult bastard for a later time. But these naturally flat ones that go along the stick. You feel me, Facebook? Like, with the bark especially, it looks cool. It's got a very natural feel to it. Let's see, we've got some very rough multi-purpose sandpaper. 60 grit coarse from Ace at a helpful price. And I got my sheets. This big. Perfect for sanding wands. Perfect wand sanding size. And let's see that right there. Tap the midnight train. Now it may be dry, which made the bark carving a bitch and a half, but because it's so dry, it makes it easier to sand. So I guess it's a pro and a con. I'll smoke a cigarette here in a second. I want to get this first section done. Yeah, that nub came out nice and smooth. Oh, it's got a natural wave to it. There we go. That's cool looking. I can dig that. Make the hole around the crystal nice and smooth. Make the hole at the bottom nice and smooth. Let's see. This one might not take so long, but finish it on this other one. Oh, shit. This is a nice looking scepter too, man. Granted, that's weird. The grain of that smells like beer, I'm not gonna lie. Huh. Yeah, there we go. That's looking cool. The area by the right here is smooth. Just make sure the area by the hole is really smooth in general. looking good. And this wand's going to be kind of a bitch to carve out anyway, so you get this one down, that last handheld wand is going to be a piece of cake. And the nub on that handle's coming off real nice like too. But this massive fucking scepter that I'm building for Etsy is taking a minute to, you know what I'm saying, I'm not going to put too much paint on it. Just a little bit on the handle. The rest of it is going to be stained with this natural bark color. This one's going to get a little bit of sanding right here. The nub right here on the handle is going to get sanded off completely for a smooth profile on the handle. And this big ass nub right here is going to take for fucking ever to sand, but I take a break from doing the scepter for Etsy to check on the progress with the other drying wands. I'm not sponsored by Ace Hardware. That was just where I went earlier to get the shit I needed. That gift card came in real handy. All jokes aside, get it real handy. Oh, jeez. Yeah, that grit's pretty shot. That's some pretty good sandpaper, man. It lasted the trial and error of smoothing this out pretty good. And this is a pretty big area. And it got just about halfway down on the handle. So people are always going, well, what sandpaper do you use? I generally start off with a heavier grit. It gets it done faster. But if you want to be more technical with it, you can go lighter and lighter and just get it smoothed down as smooth as freaking possible. But not being completely perfectly smooth, but smooth enough gives it a more rustic feel, I think. That's just my opinion. But one thing I mentioned on my last Facebook Live video was sometimes in life decisions are not the easiest to make. And I'd love to slack off and do nothing and sleep at this time of night, but all the faster these wands get done faster my fans can get a wand, the faster I can make money. There we go. It's kind of creating a pommel horse effect on the handle. I'm liking that. Like you're holding some kind of magical sword or some shit. There we go. I'll leave a little bit of that nub on there to kind of create this sort of, yeah, right there, effect of it. But the effect of it right there, I'm gonna stand it nice and flat right here on the bottom. And then I have a smoke break before I do this little one right here, and then attack this one right here. So that's like a lot of sanding. Maybe a bit smoother on the handle, yes. Much like the bark surrounding the, or lack of bark surrounding up here. I'm going to leave a little bit of bark on the handle, but not much. Just a little bit for texture. Just a little bit for texture and color. It's nice and smooth too, I like that. It'll create a nice smooth surface. Yeah, the handle's nice and the handle's done. That's cool looking, man. It feels like you're holding something. Now, basically, I only got like 2 more nubs to sand on this little scepter here. This one's not going to take too long. This one, however, is going to take the longest. And this one, I'll try to get as flat as I possibly can. This one, not so much as flat to give separation for the handle from down here to down right there. Yeah. But yeah, these wands are coming together real nice, like. The natural green of that wood's really pretty too. That's what I'm saying. I think that'll look cool when it's all said and done. People ask me, well, do you like so-and-so? And I'm like, it's not even like that. You know, it's a homie love sort of thing, you know. And you see when your homie's getting treated like shit. Nothing you can do about it. And sometimes when people are comfortable in shitty relationships, they'll make do with it until they can get their lives together. I get that. If you've been with somebody for long enough, you know. But why do that to yourself? Why make yourself increasingly miserable when you could be happier with somebody else? Like, just a hypothetical. But if you've been with somebody for 6, 7 years and they're cheating on you twice, trust and believe the idiot dumb enough to cheat on something that good is, oh man, I don't even know. I'm not going to get personal shit involved, but I'm just saying. There are some dumb motherfuckers out there. And you really can't give somebody shit for cheating if you cheated yourself. That makes you a hypocrite. Nobody likes those. But the difference is I learned from my fucking mistake. I never do it again. You know what I'm saying? But when you don't learn from your mistake, you get caught the first time doing it, and then you do it a second time thinking, oh, you ain't gonna get caught. You a dumb motherfucker. The difference is I could have gotten away with it, but I chose to be honest instead, because relationships are about communication and building trust, and you destroy trust when you do shit like that. And for that reason alone, I would not recommend cheating on your significant other. I'd much rather people just break up with someone before they do it. You know what I'm saying? It makes the dating scene just a little less shitty when people aren't cheating on each other. But Jesus fucking Christ, I see a TV show being advertised on Netflix, The Affair. Like, oh great, our sex-crazed, sexually repressed society is shoving a TV show glorifying cheating in our faces. All joy. Because that's what people like, is drama. Hashtag fuck drama. If you don't like drama in real life, why the fuck would you watch it on TV? You know, because, ugh. Well, I don't wash my hands now. God damn it. Because if you're literally the kind of person that says, I'm not a fan of drama, blah, 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 then why would you glorify it on TV? If cheating sucks, and people who cheat are the worst, I mean, one time it's bound to happen once in a while. It can happen. Doesn't mean it will. If you're in a good relationship with somebody, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's perfectly understandable, and in some situations, it's never justified, but it's understandable. If your girlfriend or boyfriend is long distance and you haven't seen them in a long ass time, never justifiable but understandable. If you're an older sort of couple, I had to put hand sanitizer on, but if you're an older couple who hasn't been able to do it in a long time, and one of them is able to have it and the other one's not, perfectly understandable but never justifiable. Like, if you got a chick who's sticking with you for 7 fucking years, putting up with your shit, and you fucking dumbasses, oh, dude. Especially when it's a guy that is doing stupid shit, and the girl happens to be someone that pretty much any guy would date. I'm just saying, like, you have to be a special kind of stupid. And you really can't give somebody shit for cheating if you yourself did it at least once. Even if you learn from your mistakes, it still makes you a hypocrite for doing it. You know what I'm saying? And that's the frustrating part of it. Is you learn firsthand from your own mistakes and watching people you care about go through shit like that. And it's like, dude, fuck this noise. I'm making wands. Like, straight up, fuck this noise. I'm making wands. I mean, at least I learned from my mistakes, and maybe I didn't see it from the girl's perspective when it's a homie going through it. You know what I'm saying? It's different seeing it through the eyes of someone else from the other side. You know what I'm saying, Facebook? And that's why it helps to get you some female friends. A lot of guys are bitching, oh, I got friends on. This shit sucks, man. I just want some pussy. Yeah. Okay, stop looking at it like that. You want to get a girlfriend, stop looking at it like that. I guarantee you, your odds will improve. I mean, sex is alright. I like getting pussy when I can, but fuck, sometimes it's just easier being single. People bring too much drama to their relationships, and it's like, ugh. And you see shows like The Affair, and young couples are watching it, and they expect, oh, this is what relationships are supposed to be like. Fuck that shit, YouTube and Facebook. If you got a very younger and more impressionable audience who have never even experienced relationships, and they're watching stupid TV shows like The Affair, you're raising a generation of people that think, oh, it's okay to cheat on your significant other because it makes it, you know, like that TV show or whatever. I was like, fuck that shit, dude. And sometimes it's just easier staying friends with the person rather than getting into a relationship that could be a good thing, but then if you break up, it fucks up the relationship as being just friends. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes decisions like that are not easy. But if you haven't had sex in a long-ass fucking time, and you're a bit lonely, you know, sometimes just talking with the female is nice. Hanging out, bullshitting. You don't have to be intimate to appreciate a female's company. That's what I'm getting at. That's the problem with our society. Like I said earlier, people have sexualized the female body. And it's just disgusting. It really is. Like, people get caught breastfeeding in public and people got to make a stink about it. It's like either you're gay or you were never breastfed as a child. That's why you're offended by it, isn't it? Well, look, Brody, calm the fuck down. If you're in a restaurant trying to enjoy your experience, well, if you're shopping trying to enjoy your experience, and sometimes parents are in a hurry, they forget things. They might forget to pre-pump some breast milk if all she has to do is discreetly blanket herself and feed her kid. Who the fuck cares? It's a natural mother-infant bonding experience. And if you're offended by breastfeeding, you, sir or madam, are a special kind of stupid. Oh, there are people who think breastfeeding is gross. That, oh, stop calling it milk. It's just body fluid, you sickos. It's like, the fuck? Like, I've seen some stupid people in our society, but man, lately, the bullshit has just been, ugh. You hope to yourself, is it really getting worse? You think, no, it's not getting worse. It's just people are being stupid. And then you see some shit happening, you're like, ugh. I don't know, it's weird, YouTube and Facebook, because when you're a guy getting it, it's a different story. It always is, right? But like, if you're gonna cheat on somebody, wouldn't it be just nicer just to break up with them? You know what I'm saying? But that's just the thing of it. If you're giving them the best sex that they've ever fucking had, of course they're not gonna want to fucking leave you. It's just natural. But that's just the thing of it. If the relationship's good and they're giving you good sex, why would you cheat on them? That's what I don't get. Like, fuck my dry spell all to hell and back. I don't give a shit about that. I'm just that's what makes me wonder about humans. Facebook is that if you're in a happy relationship with somebody, a relationship that most, you know what I'm saying? And of course, you don't think like that when you're cheating on them. You know, you're thinking, yeah, I'm a guy, I'm getting pussy, blah, 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 you know, but then, shit, eventually she's going to find out. And then eventually she's going to break up with you. And you could have something good, but it's going to bite you in the ass when you ain't got it. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so you want to make social media and the general dating scene a better place. It's a group effort. You don't like someone's YouTube channel, then don't watch it. What gives you the right to, okay, that person's trying to produce content for someone to watch, and you're sitting there dogging on them. Like, oh, that person looks like shit. Oh my god, what the fuck are they reviewing? That shit looks so gross. Oh, just the way they reviewed it was so stupid and blah 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 blah. You're basically doing a review of someone else's review at that point, and you have to stop and ask yourself, all the shit you talk is just going to get them more exposure. So why do it? You don't like their shit, then don't watch it. But when you put time and effort into hating on someone like that, it really shows. And what I've always said, it helps to have opposite sex members that are just friends. Because that helps you get girlfriends in the long run, especially if you're at a bar just hanging out, whatever, bullshitting. And then you got your female friend laughing at all your stupid jokes. And other females are like, okay, you know what? She's talking to him. He must be cool. You know, that's just how it works. Facebook, simple as that. It's just a mutual thing. If females see you talking to another female, and at first glance it appears you're taken, their interest is sparked. All is fair in chemical love and war, I suppose, but there you go. And what's more important, getting your dick wet or having a good friend? And to me, I think having a good friend is a bit more important, but that's just me. You know what I'm saying? Because, so maybe you and your so-called friend hit it off and things are great. Or then something happens to where it could go sour and you end up breaking up with that person. And then that friendship is no longer there. So then meeting that person was for nothing. And that'd be such a shitty waste of a good friendship to let personal feelings fuck it up, you know? So sometimes life will throw us a hard decision to make. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's not easy making those decisions. It never is. But you gotta ask yourself, you know what I'm saying? A lot of things. You know, is it worth ruining a good friendship over? And the answer is no, then, well, there you go. It's not the first time I've crushed on a female and chose the friendship over the crush. It's not easy, but, you know, you're at least grateful that they're talking to you and not going, ew, don't look at me. Oh, you have to be attractive enough and popular enough to look at me. Like, I fucking hate chicks like that, dude. Suck up chicks like that never have happy relationships, man. That's just the fucking truth of it. And that's enough. Maybe a little bit more sanding right there to separate that. And that is the handle. I'll kind of just phase in there. That'll give me a reference point when I'm tying the fucking string. Very nice reference point. So I mean, when you get rejected, you gotta tell yourself that's their loss, not mine. I mean, it's very easy to feed that vicious cycle. When you get rejected, it sucks. You feel less confident, and then when you feel less confident, other chicks pick up on that, then you get rejected even more. It's a vicious cycle that feeds itself. And the best way to break that is to have confidence, which is easier said than done. But the way I look at it, if I have the confidence to be myself on YouTube, what's stopping me from having that same confidence with the ladies? That's all I'm getting at Facebook. There we go. This scepter is just about carved out. Ooh, that's looking good. That's looking good, and it's feeling good in the hand. You know, it just feels like you got something like, hey, watch out. You know what I'm saying? And if you need paper mache and hot glue and a chopstick, you might as well just use a real fucking stick. There's less likelihood of it snapping. It's made from a real stick. I'm just saying. Doing a very light sanding on the bark. Just kind of scuff it up a bit. Give it a nice worn look. But I'm not going to be too particular with the bark. Just to kind of smooth it out a bit. That looks good. It's got a very natural, worn look to it. I like that. right there. It's a little bit rough where that bark meets the stick. Yeah, nice, somewhat smooth line. Defining it. Yeah, there we go. That looks cool. Good looking, man. Now for the bitch of a task of sanding. Like, you just nub off right here. Maybe I could hit that with the snippers. It wouldn't have time. It would save me a lot of time on sanding. It would save me a couple of sheets of paper. Yeah, maybe from this angle right here. And I could take. I mean, this is just like enough that a little bit of sawing wouldn't hurt. But you gotta be really careful doing it like this. I would not recommend holding the staff or scepter in your lap to do this. Better about just sticking it down here like that. There we go. It's a bit safer. This will cut down on sanding. Yuck, yuck, yuck. You made a saw joke. Hello, Facebook. I'd like to make some wands. And one of my homies just lost a dog recently, man. That shit sucks. And the veterinarian they went to was just so careless. It was disgusting. Yeah, getting that little nub off with the hacksaw is probably the best bet. You cheap ass bastard. By sticking it in the trash can and holding it support on that broken half of that branch that I'm not using. Fucking god, dude. There we go. That's just about there. That makes sanding really easy. That'd be really easy to sand, but there we go. Fucking finish the job. And that makes sanding that real fucking easy. There we go. This took about 10 zillion hours out of that sanding. Yeah, I'll take standing out of this. And that's a good looking wand, man. And thinking things through to myself on a personal issue that I'd rather not discuss on Facebook or social media for that matter. Yeah, it's just easier to be friends sometimes than it is, you know. But it's like I said, you get yourself some female friends to hang out with on the weekend. And even if you're not getting pussy, it's still better than nothing. Because you have a female to talk to, you know. That's precisely the reason why a lot of women just despise men, because they're always thinking with their dick, right? Shit. I mean, to be fair, when you haven't had it in a long time, yeah, it sounds good, but is it everything in the relationship? No, it's not. Holy bitch farts, man. It took a lot of sanding, but that's looking good. Like, holy shit, this is the messiest I've ever gotten carving a wand. Like, this is messier than 4 or 5 wands put together. This requires a lot of sanding. And that nub's just about sag smooth. Because crystal wands take a lot longer to make, of course. They're going to cost more. It's just, that's a no-brainer, dude. Dudettes. In my senior year of high school, I made friends with a couple of chicks, and one of them I was good friends with. She actually sat with me at lunchtime instead of being like, ew, you know. And it was such a refreshing feeling that I didn't want to let my crush on her ruin that. So that was the first time I had to make that decision. And sometimes making that decision is a good thing, you know, because it doesn't get much more awkward than sitting there saying, oh, hey, so-and-so, I think you're fucking hot. I'd like to date you. And they look at you like, well, this is awkward. They look at you like, yeah, about that. Look, I'm flattered that you feel that way, but I don't feel the same way, blah, blah, blah. That conversation is always fun. So sometimes it's better to play it cool and wait and see what happens. You don't want to rush into shit and then make the other person feel extremely uncomfortable. And if you do that, all of a sudden you went from having a female friend to, okay, she's no longer your friend because you're just creeping her out, dude. instead of thinking with your dick, start thinking of, okay, how would it feel if I was in her shoes and someone was doing this to me, a member of the opposite sex, blah, blah, blah. It's not, that doesn't just apply to dating, man. That applies to fucking anything. You have to ask yourself, how would it feel to be that person right now? You know, I hate everybody equally, honestly. Like, if I got a problem with you, I want to let you know that I don't like you. And if you don't take that as a hint to get the fuck away from me, then you're stupid. And sometimes you're stuck to be with people you don't want to be with. You know, it's part of going to school or what have you. If that's the case, then you make do with it the best you can. And it's much like, okay, you don't like that person's YouTube channel, then ignore them. What good is it going to do you to pick a fight with somebody on YouTube because you don't agree with the way they think? Even if their opinion is extremely fucked up and backwards, chances are you're not going to convince them that you're right and they're wrong. How much do you want to bet? Opinions are like assholes. Everyone's got one. And unfortunately, everyone thinks theirs is right, even if their opinion is wrong. That's just the right amount of branch nubs in there. Yeah, because that's looking really cool. I like that. I had to burn through damn near a whole pack of sandpaper to get that nub off, but that was just with cutting it with the saw. If I hadn't cut it with the saw, that would have been, yeah, dude, that would have been a disaster. That would have been a nightmare getting that off. So when dating sucks in your town, all you can do is not stress it and find something interesting to do, you know. Whether it's making wands or maybe you're collecting stamps, you know. Something you can do that will take your mind off the stress of when it does hit you. You know what I'm saying? There we go. That's nice and smooth on that angle right there. That is cool. It produced a little circle right there. Hell yeah. Maybe a bit more level there. There we go. That looks very nice. A little bit more. And if you like a girl, don't deny it. Don't say it out loud, but don't deny it. You know what I'm saying? Because denying it's only going to make it worse. Denying that you find that girl attractive or this and that, what have you, that's only going to make it worse, Facebook. You're only just kidding yourself at that point. But there's a method to the madness that is the game, so to speak. You gotta make them want it. You know what I'm saying? If you give it to them too easily, they're not gonna give it to you, I guarantee it. You look like you're, you know that song, 'cause you're standing still. I'll hold on for one more drink, I'm looking too desperately. That song holds some truth to that. If you're looking too desperately, chicks are gonna pick up on that shit and they're like, oh, yo, putty in my hands, this is too easy. And for some chicks, they're like, okay, this gives me something I can work with. And for some chicks, they're like, no, I want somebody who's got a little bit more, who's going to make me work for it. And dudes are no different. Dudes are no fucking different, Facebook. When it comes to dating, some people want an easy chase and some people want something they have to work for. It's just how it is, man. Yo, that nub is sanded perfectly smooth on that. That's got a nice concurve to it. Beautiful. And I like right in here, especially with that, where it meets right here. It's going to need a little bit more sanding. Let's just sit here and just to smooth out the lines separating the bark and the smoothness on the scepter itself. You know, talk about a hand carved scepter. This ain't no lie. Right there, it could be sanded a bit more smoothly, and that should be good on the sanding. Holy shit. Oh yeah, that is nice. The concurves between the bark and the stick are very smooth. So kind of a rough cut, kind of rustic smooth look to it. I mean, sometimes I can't control the length of these things. Sometimes it just happens, but this would have been a lot longer. But the whole making it for the crystal right here, the walls around it broke on me like 4 times. I'm like, seriously? And I fucking nicked my fingers doing it, but I didn't fuck up my Aussie tattoo. I didn't fuck up my hand. So it could be worse, but that took me as a sign, like, yo, I gotta use the vice clamp if I'm gonna be drilling holes out for these scepters and shit, because that could have ended a lot worse. Ooh. Ooh. That just feels like a scepter in the hand. It's not even done, and it already just feels like it, you know. The sandpaper piece is done for, and the stick is telling me that's perfect. It's saying that's enough sanding. You carved the hole deep enough for a crystal. So it actually feels like you're holding a scepter when it's all said and done. Now, our friend Mr. Painter's Tape, YouTube. I'm going to tape off the section that I'm painting black for the handle, and then the rest of it's just going to be a natural color. So a strip of painter's tape just separates the handle from the wand is what I'm doing right now. And give me a reference point. It'll produce a cleaner line. There we go. This will produce a much cleaner line on the handle for the scepter, so I go to wrap it with leather and this and that. Okay, where did the fucking line for that go? There it is. And sometimes taking the extra steps might take longer, but here's the thing of it, it'll produce a better product. I mean, you apply that to anything in life, taking a little extra time in life to make sure it's done right the first time. There we go. Well, a whole lot of painter's tape on there, just enough to separate the handle from the wand itself. Everything below that will get painted black when the timing is right. But damn, there a whole packet of sandpaper to make it happen, but it was worth it. Now this is going to throw back over here for the moment being, because yikes, man. Holy shit. I've heard of getting wood from a hot-ass chick, but this right here, YouTube, that's just ridiculous. You made a sawdust joke. Oh, God, that was cringeworthy. I mean, this stuff is fairly easy to pick up and get off my pants. Take a wet rag and just kind of, clean up from this is going to be massive. Because that is a big freaking scepter, man. I mean, it looks good. The carved out product looks good. It's exactly what I was looking for. But the more expensive ones definitely take longer to finish, longer to carve. It's just a no doubt moment. I'm going to have to move this computer chair out of the way for a second. There we go. This will allow me to sweep up my mess. I'll do that here in a second when I get the sawdust off my pants. Holy Toledo, Batman. That's not perfect on my pants, but it's 1,000 times better than having all that sawdust on there. Sitting here like, well, what can I do while I wait for those wands to dry in their various processes? I basically got one wand left to carve in this batch, which will now allow me to focus on all the other ones that I have semi-caught up. Doing it in stages allows me to get it done at a relatively quick pace. If you know what you're doing, YouTube, Facebook, it's all about managing your time more wisely. Excellent. Sometimes you might have to utilize your space as well as you utilize your time, but that's all right. Learning to utilize your space and utilize your time wisely will make your life a lot simpler. People are in such a hurry to get places anymore. It's like, well, here's the thing. If you manage your time a bit better, you wouldn't have to be in a hurry to get places. You could be there on time to chill out, hang out for a bit, bullshit, you know. Now, the paint job on these wands is looking very, very good. Ready for polishing handles. Minus a couple that I'm doing over here and this and that. This particular one's going to be blind in the dark, so it's, oof, before I even tackle these wands right here, I want to make sure that my mess is picked up. Because a clean workstation is a happy workstation. There we go. A little bit of sawdust on the bedspread ain't in the mud thing. Just kind of brush it off. There we go. But sometimes the vacuum's just not good enough. This is a bit more tedious, but it gets the job done. Some of the stuff the vacuum can get later on, but the good majority of this can be picked up just using a broom and dustpan. You know, the only reason I'm not running the vacuum right now is because it's late. This is what they call a wand graveyard shift, if you will. Working in the dead of night to get these wands done for my batch. To get them done for Etsy and sold as quickly as possible. And that kind of hard work and dedication is starting to pay off. People see it in the wands. You can't get like 100% of it with the dustpan, but you can get about 80 to 95% of it with the dustpan easily. Like the big chunks and shit. Now, could you imagine if I would have lost the ability to play, if I would have lost the ability to play guitar because I was building a staff for, or a scepter or what have you for Etsy? That would have been some bullshit. That would have been like Live's severely ironic sense of humor going. So am I lucky that that drill didn't stab me in the hand when I was working on that scepter earlier? Yes. That was a sign that the worst that could have happened, the least worst thing happened. I got 2 little cuts on my finger because it stopped. I stopped drilling or released the trigger as soon as it slipped. And the drill kind of nicked my fingers a little bit. But it didn't fuck up my tattoo. It didn't fuck up my hand from being able to play guitar. So, and I didn't get blood all over the place. Even better. So Yeah, that's all I need, really. I mean, if you're crafty enough, but you're better off not risking it. Facebook, when it comes to power tools, you're just better off not risking it. Because power tools are no fucking joke, man. Them fuckers will take your finger off before you can even say hell's bells. They call him Stubby. Stubby? Yeah. He was careless in shop class. What happened? Well, he lost 4 of his fingers. Oh, shit. You know, whenever he waves at people, people think he's making a fist. Like he's angry at them. That's not the worst part. Yeah, what happened to Stubby? That's the hand he masturbates with. He can't do it with his other hand. Oh, jeez. Yeah. And it kind of freaks the ladies out sometimes. Oh, jeez. Yeah. So if you don't want to be like Stubby, be safe with your power tools, man. That's all I'm saying. I mean, it's... Oh, you're one to talk, Mr. Almost stabbed my hand with a drill bit. You know, sometimes be very quick to call someone a hypocrite. Just know that sometimes other people's personal mistakes can help you learn as a person, too. That's not a personal attack against you or me or anyone. It's just saying, hey, maybe you can learn from my experience. And the reason why I say that is because it could have ended a lot worse than it did. By the time I get to pick up all this sawdust here and what have you, I'm going to try taking off the painter's tape on their wands. They should be dry enough. There's just some problems you can't sweep underneath a rug, so to speak. Especially when it's your own happiness concerned. You can't, you know, I don't know. You can't let stupid people or stupid shit get to you. Easier said than done. Especially when you're having one of them days. We've all had one of them days. We've all had one of them days where everybody and everything just sucks. You know, Facebook. We've all had one of those days. And they seem to happen to more people than some people more often than most. There are some people just have the absolute horriblest luck ever. And I guess when people are stuck in a pattern, they become used to it. So they have like a couple of bad weeks, and then they just think, well, I'm an unlucky person. So then that becomes their fucking attitude, man. So sometimes all people need is a good kick in the ass burgers, or maybe at the very least seeing things differently. And trying to be more confident working on your temper, it's not easy. It's not going to happen overnight, but it can be done. Ugh. lot of people fast forward their shit. Me, I'm just like, no, that's not realistic. And look, I can get the rest of that pretty easily. You see how much of that I picked up already? That's crazy. That's done. Here. Let's see. Now over here we have this red, white, and blue one that I'm working on for the batch as the 4th of July is coming up. And when painter's tape reacts to paint, when it's done drying, it basically kind of shrivels up a little bit. So because of that, the theory is you should be able to, yeah, this paint's dry enough on this, I can take this tape off. Excellent. It's like what to do when you're waiting for a wand to dry. Well, there's your solution. Carve out another one. Yeah, there we go. That produced a much cleaner line with that handle. Excellent. If you want to produce a much cleaner product with the well, one thing I really hate about life anymore is when you got two friends in a feud and you get caught in the middle of it and you're kind of forced to pick sides. And especially when you know one of them's being in the wrong and you know they're being in the wrong, but you don't want to say it because you don't want to cause more drama. Like anybody who knows me knows I fucking hate drama. And if you're really someone's friend, you shouldn't force them to pick sides, you know. Whatever dispute you have with somebody, that's between you and that person. So why are you dragging someone else into it? Making motherfuckers pick sides and shit. Okay, there we go. Now for a patriotic 4th of July themed wand, that's exactly what I'm talking about, Facebook. That looks killer, dude. Yeah. That's dry enough where I can set it down and all it needs is a handle tied to it and some podge. Yeah, that's good looking shit right there, man. Now this is why you use painter's tape. If you want a much cleaner, I let the blue and the white bleed together to represent skies and stuff like that. That looks cool. But with the red and the white, I don't want to make them pink. Nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying it's not very patriotic if it's red, pink, white, and blue. But like if the blue is bleeding onto the white just a little bit, that's cool. I can work with that. But you want the two other colors to be very much separate. And I taped that just right. That is fucking sweet looking, man. Yeah. Those two wands are gonna need glow dark spray paint. 3 to be more specific, but at least I can set that one down. Oh, look at that. Now, we turn our attention to this one and get this one painted up right quick. As quickly as I can. This one's going to take the longest to paint out of all of them, and that's no bullshit. But the extra step I put into this one's going to really pay off in my favor. I'm going to take all this painter's tape off that I put on it previously. I can now make the gap between the red and the orange much, much bigger. But the red paint is dry enough on that little section that to protect the colors from bleeding and to make that effect. I put some painter's tape right there, just like that. That'll protect the red right there from being fucked with. And if you want multiple colors on your wands, like I said, painter's tape is your best friend. It may take a little bit longer to I don't want the orange gap to be too big. Because when we can make the rainbow repeat itself twice on this if we utilize our space. Now, granted, it may take longer, yes, but it'll look cooler when it's said and done. Up in Facebook Live cut out on me last time I was making a video. Oh, connection issues, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, fuck that noise. Yeah, that patriotic wand looks dope as shit. I'm just saying. All right. But that might take too long, but not too terribly long. Like the spacing would get smaller and smaller as it progresses. Yeah, the blue that gets on the rest of it, it ain't nothing but a thing because it's all getting repainted, but there we go. I'm basically keeping the paint or the painter's tape on the handle until the whole fucking thing's painted, much like the red, white, and blue one, yes. But this one's gonna have different colors. And it's a bit inconvenient on the time part of it, but other than that, it produces a really nice looking wand if you're really patient with it. Oh, don't tell me the fucking paint nozzle on my orange is fucked. I've been having real weird problems with that lately, man. The fucking paint nozzles and shit. Oh, you fucking cheap ass motherfucking. This is the weirdest shit, man. Sometimes your paint cans with nozzle or whatever gets fucked, and then it makes spray painting your wands a nightmare. Son of a bitch. What's the deal? No. I was having problems with this, the same exact problem with cans earlier. I was like, nah, dude. I can't have this shiznit. And then if you can't fix the nozzle, you can try using a nozzle from another can, but it's got to be from the same company, otherwise it won't fit. Aha. Yeah, you little shit. God, you could outsmart me. It doesn't look like much when it's all taped up and paint in various stages of paint, but I assure you, I'm sure it's cool when it's all said and done. And you might have to pop the nozzle off, put it back on this one over here. If you're gonna pull on that shit, yellow, green, blue. I want to do the wand pattern once on the wand if it's gonna be doing that shit. Just because, dude, that's irritating, man. Like, I don't know, you know, that kind of shit makes making the wands a little bit more difficult than they need to be. Kind of like the yellow, the green, and the blue go up these last 3 sections. And it'll still look cool when it's done. It's just on that orange, on any paint nozzle, Facebook, when any paint nozzle is sticking and not wanting to spray, how are you supposed to paint anything? My point exactly. Now they got our base coat on our wand with that white paint. That looks good. I dusted off a bit. I'll do the handle first. Shit. Like, well, an art paint doesn't like to cover things very easily. It was still get a glow-in-the-dark wand. That's advertised. Maybe if I can avoid dropping it in the distant future, that would be awesome. I'm gonna take that glow-in-the-dark spray paint, just rub it all over the stick. Get that spread out as evenly as possible. Son of a bitch fart. It's okay, this glow-in-the-dark spray paint is pissing me off a little bit because it's like the paint dries and then you put the coat on top of it and then it makes the coat underneath it wet again. What the shit? Trying to produce a quality wand here. This fucker doesn't even glow in the slightest. I'm not going to be happy about that. Maybe if I smear that glow-in-the-dark spray paint all over the stick, it'll, it says it's super glow, so it should. God damn it. No, the white on that was completely dry before it did that, so why did the adding... Sometimes in life you don't want to question it, Facebook. Like, why would applying a fresh coat of paint to a dry coat make the whole thing wet again? I mean, as far as the bottom coat, because it feels like the bottom coat's getting wet too, because all this white paint's coming off onto my hands. So hopefully smearing the mixed paints together onto the same fucking stick. Hopefully mixing the two together will give it that glow I'm looking for. I'm going to find out. Yeah. I was panicking for nothing, never mind. Sometimes I do that. As soon as I held it in the dark of my bathroom, boom. That glowed nicely. You can't blame me for being a bit of a perfectionist when it comes to my wands. That's just putting it best foot forward with the craft. So that base coat isn't going to take too long to dry on top of it. But I'm going to take all that paint that I put on there, the second coat, I want to smooth it out onto the stick by hand so we get a nice even glow all the way around the entire wand. Even on the handle a little bit. There we go. excellent. Most excellent. I want to wash my hands after doing that. Let that sucker dry. I guess I might have to pull my hands for a bit, but I've got most of it off. Now, the best way to get any sort of paint off your hands is to use mineral spirits and water and soap. Yeah. I was misunderstanding it at first, but then as soon as I shined it underneath this light here, and then on top of that, rolled it underneath the bathroom light, lo and behold. Get off of that. Now, making wands isn't exactly clean. It's going to get a little messy, YouTube. I guarantee you that right now. I think that you're going to avoid getting any sort of paint on your hand. Huh. Yeah, right. I put just a little bit of glow-in-the-dark spray paint on the patriotic one as well. Certain spots. There. And if the colors bleed into each other just a little bit, it's fine. Because the end result will still look cool when it's done. Produced a pale red when I added the extra layer of shit to it. Oh, yeah. It's cool. Let's see. Now the orange on this other wand is dried just enough. I can take that layer of painter's tape off around the top half of it. Everything else beneath it will have to wait until it dries. Yeah, it's gonna look nice when it's done. The red, the orange, the yellow, the green, the blue. Yeah, one full pattern of it will look a lot better than trying to do multiple. It'd be a lot easier too. Shit. And that's just the thing of it, is if my orange can's doing that shit, then I don't have to replace my orange spray paint. Which is not a big deal, I'm just saying. I'll have to let these fuckers dry for a bit. I got like 3 of them. Well, 2 of them are almost done drying completely. And 1 of them is still being painted. Just for shits and kicks. And you basically have to do that with every color, going from red, orange, and then put the yellow one right here, and then green, then blue, and the tip of it ends up being purple. And it takes a minute to finish, but by using painter's tape, like I said, I'm repeating myself, but yeah, you get a nice clean line right there. I'll wash up my hands and end this shenanigan right quick. Facebook, and I'll show you what some of these wands look like when they're more done. Or at least when, yeah. Yeah, that patriotic wand looks fucking dope as shit. I like that. That is something sweet. We'll be right back. Thanks, bud. I wonder what happens when I kill the overhead line. Let's see what. Of course, you can't really see it glowing in the dark. That's gonna have to dry completely before I can charge it separately and, show you what it looks like when it's done. Now, with the glow-in-the-dark spray paint on top of the patriotic type wand, it has a little bit of light to it here and there, but it's not too much. By the time it's all said, done, and drying, it'll look like it's any other red, white, and blue patriotic wand, but then when you charge it in the light, it got that shit glowing, man. Yeah. Well, I got most of it off my hands. It is like a little bit here and there on my fingertips, but yeah, that's good enough. Let me tell you something, Facebook. That ain't perfect getting it up completely all off my hands, but the good majority of it is off, so that way my hands aren't just coated in spray paint for no reason. There's at least some effort into, because if I'm still painting wands, then there's a good chance that I may end up getting more paint on my fingertips. Hopefully not, but on the off-end chance of that, I'll go with these last two drying for the batch. Plus the two I gotta finish painting, and the one I gotta carve. Yeah, this batch is getting that much closer to being done. I can't rush them any faster, but I can, as you say, burn through the midnight oil and get these suckers done. Yeah, some of these are pretty fucking cool. I like the way that patriotic one turned out. Very 4th of July, man. Yeah. Okay, just in the dark, right here, that glow-in-the-dark spray paint that I put on the patriotic wand, I can see it glowing, and just this little amount of white that I have right here. Not want to knock it off the top here. It's all right. Put it back here. Shit. I won't. There we go. Avoid moving this bench while these dry in between the spray paint cans, which that's usually not a problem. Need to stamp this. There we go. Shit hell. And that orange paint's still too sticky to take off. And the orange paint is dry enough, it's not coming off on my hands, but it's still too sticky to put on the next thing of painter's tape. I mean, every last little step, you know. Usually when it's that dry, you can take off the top layer with that line around it. But you sit there and try taking off that bottom line before it's done drying, you know, it'll fuck up that clean line. There's a reason why that patriotic wand looks so good, because it's applying the same principles to making that. Yeah. Shoo-wee. Dirty ass motherfucking glasses, man. Of course, you're gonna get sawdust all over your glasses, making these. It's just, I mean, that's just a natural part of making the wands. I definitely earned myself a pinch of pipe tobacco for my hard work. That's, you know what I'm saying? So sometimes when I'm having a bad day, or even if I have something on my mind, it helps just to make wands and talk about it and kind of. By the time do I go to bed, whenever the fuck I feel like it, I'm a grown-ass adult. But if I'm staying up late in the evening, just gotta keep it down, you know? Can't be like, hey, you guys, you know what I'm saying? No, fuck that. I mean, I got 2 windows in front of me open so that it helps with the smell of it a bit. I mean, when you're making works of art, it can get a bit smelly in here. It'll smell like spray paint and shit like that. But I don't have any cigarettes at the moment. But what I do have is a bag of tobacco right here. Just a pinch of that. Mixed right there. So if I grab my trusty billiard, and want to load a fresh bowl of this Kentucky brown right in there. I'll momentarily smoke break. What's up, Stacy? Stacy, oh. Yeah. Yeah, the only reason I share this story with you about working on the scepter earlier is it'll help you appreciate the work I put into these wands. And also take with it some advice that I've learned, which is, you know, power tools are dangerous. You don't want to fuck with them. End up doing something really stupid. Well, now there you go. I just knocked the mouse onto the floor. Nice going, spaz. But this is pretty much what I'm doing for the rest of the goddamn evening. Working on wands. Yo. it will get to a point though where the wands can only go so far, but before you have to wait a couple days to get more supplies. You may have enough money to complete them up to a certain stage. Maybe you don't have enough money to complete them all at once. You know what I'm saying? But you get them to various points to where you can, you know, and then you start putting together, man. I am but a simple wand maker. Oh yeah, that tastes good. Dried sheet pipe tobacco, like DHM or whatever it's called. Like a buddy of mine hooked me up with some, and then I put a little bit of cigarette tobacco, mixed it up in there. Oh yeah, DHM red. That's good tobacco. The cheap pipe tobacco, really dry, almost like a cigarette tobacco, but it's still classified as a pipe tobacco. You get a big old bag of it like this big, and you know what I'm saying? The kind of stuff I was gonna get when I get this batch of wands done, because there's times when you want some nicotine, but you don't want to be sitting there digging through ashtrays to fill up your pipe. It's just easier to scoop, pack. So my lighter dies, and the spare lighter right here is still plentiful. It's just missing the red button. It still works though. That is a good question. Stacy asks the question, what do you make your wands out of? Fresh sticks. Fresh sticks. Sandpaper for the sanding. And I'll use glue on the excuse me. I'll use glue on the goddamn leather string and this and that, you know, at various points. But this batch of wands is coming together very nicely, and the last three are sold out so quickly. You know, it only makes sense to quite literally offer more available. Yeah. I found myself getting mad at first, but I'm like, wait a second. It's still fucking closing. I mean, you couldn't tell the paint was on there at first, or then when I stuck it underneath the darkness upon it still being wet, it glowed a little bit, so just enough glow on it. Time is money, Facebook, remember that. Like the last batch literally sold out within the first day and a half it was up. It might take this batch a little bit longer to sell out, but boom. And it could sell out just as quickly as the last batch, you never know. But I'm gonna post them super early in the morning so that way upon the day starting, people actually have a fair chance to get them. I'm not going to mention when they're live. That way, it gives people a fair chance to buy them. I guarantee if I made a Facebook Live video saying I got wands for sale, blah, 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 boom, it sold out. I like that. Which is cool, but it doesn't give everybody a fair chance to buy one. Now, even as the glow in the dark spray paint dries on the glowing wand, I can see it starting to take on that color you would associate with a wand that glows in the dark, or any sort of glowing product that's sort of off-white. Oh. I'm actually really, really excited to see this fourth batch just come together. Getting it sold is going to be fucking epic. I know the hard work I put into these wands now is going to pay off when they go to be sold. And 2 of these wands I'm making are just free giveaways, just because I can. I don't do that kind of shit very often, but it ends up being free advertisement on my part. I basically showed you how to do multiple colors on your wands. Yo, these are cool looking, man. Look at the shit out of these. This is a great way for me to create something, stay out of trouble, and make money doing it, and relieve stress. I mean, you cannot beat that. Facebook, you really can't. Now, some of the things like the handle on the staff, some of the bigger wands, drying the handles individually with the glue. There are some things that are going to have to be individually done. But other than that, yeah, these are coming together real nicely. This is the kind of dedication I'm going to be putting into each wand. Each batch, they get better and better. And this fourth batch is just nice. And once you get past your standard set, you can pretty much paint any other wand, whatever freaking color you want. But you offer a standard 10, and the custom ones with it. You're giving people a variety to choose from. Because not everyone's going to want a black and a green wand. Some people like red, some people, you know what I'm saying? It's a no-brainer, Facebook. But the last 2 wands I've carved before the last 2 I never finished, are almost done drying to a point where I can set them down and stuff. And I can start doing handles on them tomorrow. They're not that big of a deal. I'll be stuck finishing up that crazy ass paint job on that other wand that I'm taping up so methodically to create that look, you know what I'm saying? And I should charge more for custom painted wands because they take longer to make, but nope, I'm not going to do that. You see something you like, you got the money to buy it, you want to buy it, buy it. That's all I gotta say. All sales are final. You can't exchange wands for a different wand. They make nice little collector's pieces. So then you can say, oh, hey, I watched this YouTuber on YouTube and blah, blah, blah. He makes these, he practices magic and he makes these wands. Blah, 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 blah. Of course, usually when I'm making wands, I'm not very social. I'll break from wands occasionally to go hang out with friends or do something like that. But I hear my friends complain, well, we never hang out very much. And I'm like, well, yeah, but when I'm making wands and getting them done, they gotta get done ASAP as quickly as possible. Quicker I get the wands out, the quicker people can be happy with their own handmade wand, and the quicker I can make money. Plain and simple. Life's a hustle, man. You gotta get it when you can. I'm just saying, Facebooks. But I'll catch you next time on another video, yo.